Happy Sunday, everybody. This is AL Thick Madame, and I'm coming at y'all with another video, and this is about love and marriage, Huntsville. Okay, so this one started off with everybody meeting up to discuss the building of two houses that they're trying to do, these two properties that they want to do. Okay. I'm hopeful, but yeah. Y'all, oh gosh, I was so tired. I was just like, oh my God, like every time I turned around, something else was popping off. Okay, so everybody's arriving. So, Marcel worked, so he didn't show up. So Letitia showed up with their kids. Melody was basically reading about that. 'Cause she's like, I got kids, and I ain't have to bring them around here, and I ain't got no areas and stuff for children to be in. So okay, what's going on here, y'all? Like I said, everybody showed up but Marcel because he had to work. Okay, cool, whatever. Y'all, for the meeting even started literally before. Y'all, I'm talking about arguments was happening. Melody was saying things that was throwing people off to the point where people was like, what? I ain't got time for this. I'm gonna leave. I was like, oh God, no. So, okay. As we know, on the last episode, Kimmy's bridal shower happened and Melody didn't show up. So Kimmy was like, I'm gonna bring this up just a little bit or whatever. So she was like, I didn't understand why you didn't come. It's like she tried to explain it as if she wasn't mad, but she just wanted to know why she didn't show up, which I understand that. So, she was like, well, what happened was I got an invite, and apparently my invite was rescinded. And when I went to go and RSVP, because she made it plain that she started getting all these offers for speaking engagements and all this stuff, and so her schedule was filling up. So she wanted to make sure she went on ahead and RSVP'd and put that on her schedule so she wouldn't book anything for that particular day or that block of time. Well, she said she went to go and RSVP and there was nothing there. And so Letitia was like, look, somebody was supposed to call you back or whatever. And she was like, yeah, you told me that somebody was supposed to call me back and she never called me back. And so she was like, so then Letitia went in her little confessional and was like, I don't believe it. I call BS on all this stuff. Like, she just said that, like, throughout the whole show. She be having me die. She really be having me die when she says stuff like that. But anyway, she was like, yeah, whatever. Y'all, so then it was just so crazy to the point of where it's just the way she was talking to her. Letitia was just like, look, I ain't got time for this. I ain't trying to be here. I'm about to go. Like, she really got up like a few times. I was like, oh my gosh. So what happened was Letitia, I think, said, if we don't pray, she was like, we need to pray. And she was like, if we don't pray, I'm going to have to go. I ain't got time for this, because Maurice literally got up from his seat and went over to where Letitia was and, like, put her back into her seat because she really had got up and was gathering the children. I was like, oh my God. Like, she was really tired. But I ain't gonna lie. Melody was like snippy. And I was just like, why are you so mad? Like, she had this tone. And I guess she feels like because she's pretty and some other things I ain't even gonna say or whatever. But the main thing is I feel like she feels like I'm pretty. I could get away with these things. I'm me. You know what I'm saying? I am part of Holt and Holt, and we have all this going on, and I'm pretty, so I can say what I want to say, how I want to say it, and I'm at my own business at this moment having this meeting, so I can say what I want to say, and I'm going to get away with it no matter what tone I'm using. And I'm just like, why? Like, and I understood exactly everything that Kimmy and mainly Letitia were referring to as far as her tone, because I was just like, why is she talking like this? Like, it was kind of a lot. So, Marceau and I think it was Marceau, Maurice, his brother, and Martell all met up. I couldn't tell if it was a bar that was like dedicated to smoking or whatever. I couldn't think. I think it said the sip or whatever it was. Y'all, I don't know what it was. They met at some place and they were talking. And as usual, everybody was like, "Well, how everything going with y'all?" And so Marceau was like, "How everything going?" And as always, Martell was like, "Oh, everything's going good." He said that he's like giving Melody handwritten letters and like gifts all the time, like flowers, just to reassure her that, his cheating is behind him and all that. And Marceau keep on making these little jokes, trying to make it seem like, well, you're going to have to get a botanist. I'm just like, sit down somewhere. Because like I told y'all, I feel like he been cheating. He just seemed like the type that he be like, I'm a man. I do what I want to do. I bring all the bacon in here. And you gonna fry it up and you gonna do it. I gotta tell y'all, especially for y'all who haven't seen it, I gotta tell y'all about a whole lot of stuff that went on in this episode that really always it will continuously make me side eye Marceau. I can't do it. So the ladies, which are Melody, Kimmy, and Letitia, they all were at Melody's house. And so Melody realized that she came off wrong. She really did come off wrong to them, and she wanted to apologize with a spa day. So they were surprised when they came to her home, and she was like, "I'm sorry," and all this other stuff. And so they went outside, and they had the little masseuses out there. Everybody had their own personal massage therapist, masseuse, or whatever they were, and they were all getting rubbed on. So they were talking, and everything went from the usual pleasantries to, "Oh, this is so nice, girl," whatever, to, I think either Melody or Letitia said, like, if there's something that you need to get off your chest, we need to just put it out there now or whatever. So they were discussing everything that they had problems with. And Kimmy, she was like, I just didn't understand what was going on with you and why you didn't show up. And there has been a definite change in you. And so Melody is like, "What are you talking about? I don't feel like I've changed at all. I've always been myself." And so she was like, "No, there's been a change." So then like Letitia chimed in at some point and was like, "Well, we used to all hang out. We were girlfriends, and it makes sense that our husbands are friends, so we're gonna be friends and learn one another, and we're gonna become close and form this sisterhood." So that's what they were supposed to be doing, and it started off pretty strong. They used to hang out together locally, and they actually took a trip to Mexico to Letitia and Marceau's wedding renewal. And they had pictures of that. They were showing pictures of all this other stuff. It looked really, really nice. So apparently, Melody was like, "Okay, but when did the change happen? I don't understand what y'all talking about. I don't understand why y'all talking about I've changed." And so Kimmy and Letitia were talking about an instance when they were at the wedding renewal in Mexico where pictures were being taken. And apparently she didn't want to take the pictures, and she was just in her feelings. She didn't want to be in the picture, and she just kept complaining and was just being beyond bougie. And apparently she hates when people say the word bougie because she doesn't feel as though she is bougie, or at least in the context that they were describing her, she didn't like that. So she was like, "Bougie? What do you mean? I don't feel like I'm bougie," and all this other stuff. So then Kimmy brought up an example of around like Christmas time, like last year, whenever they recorded this. She apparently, Melody, sent out invitations and or called and extended invitations to everyone to go to some gala. And so Kimmy opted out of that because she was like, "I'd rather spend time with my family and not at a gala." And she felt like that was one of the many bougie things that she likes to try to invite them to. And she's just like, "I'm not here for that." Oh, Lord. So They got into arguments about that, and I was just like, Lord, this is too much. But, as the conversation continued on, she just kept saying, I don't understand what you mean when you say bougie. It got to the point where Kimmy was like, just look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. And she was just looking like, what? I was like, Lord, this is too much. But anyway, they, hashed everything out for the moment, and they're all on decent terms. It had got to the point, like, before they did get to the end of their scene, with this particular scene, that Melody, it was like it was an awkward silence, right? Then it got to the point where Melody was like, I really would just like for y'all to just get out of my house and just leave. And like, yeah, if you know how she speaks, you would be like, what? And it was crazy because Letitia was like, yeah, we ain't going nowhere, okay. And both of them was like, yeah, we ain't going nowhere. So they basically said, we're going to let bygones be bygones, and they shut all that down, and they continued to do what they was going to do, and they ended it with a hug. So I was like, okay, I guess this will hold over to the next day. So Letitia is now at home, and she's, doing her normal thing. She's at the house with the kids, and Marcel is not at the house right now. I guess he's working. And so Letitia calls her. I'm sorry. Letitia gets a phone call from Melody, and Melody is like, hey girl, how you doing? Whatever. Asking her what's going on with her. And she was like, do I hear the kids in the background? She was like, yeah. And so she ended up, telling the kids to kind of quiet down, and that she was trying to talk to Melody. So Melody was like, well, the reason why I'm calling you is because I wanted to invite you to this luncheon. And the luncheon is basically a networking event. And so she she went into her little confessional, and she was like, ever since, I found out that Kimmy has such a problem with the things that I invite them to, I was not going to extend the invitation to her. So, So anyway, the scene is going on, and she was just like, I want to invite you. Of course, Letitia is very, very excited about this because she's trying to get back out there into the workforce, and she definitely wants to prove Marcel wrong. So she's happy about it. And she was like, well, I'm a come girl, whatever. I'm going to figure something out. And so she was like, oh, okay. So I was like, oh, okay. I wonder how this really going to go down. Is she really going to be able to go? Because y'all know how Marcel is. So apparently the next day happens. Melody literally called her the day before all this was going to go down. That's very last minute. I was very confused by that, but who am I? So the day before is when she called about this. And so she's getting ready, Letitia. She's at the house getting ready. And so Marcel, he has on like a little work shirt that's like a polo shirt. And so she was like, hey babe, what you gonna do? What you doing? Or whatever. He was like, oh, I'm getting ready to go play golf. And so she was like, about that, I was hoping that you could watch the kids for me for a little while. And so he was looking like, but no. I was like, oh my gosh. And so, y'all, I can't deal with it. Like, he just irks my soul. I can't do it. And so she was like, look, she had to lie to him and say that Melody called her a couple of hours ago and invited her to this. So she didn't really have notice. And so he was like, why did you tell me about it when it first happened? She was like, because I hadn't seen you. She just asked me a couple of hours ago. And so like he was like, no, I'm not gonna watch the kids. He was like, this is my day off, and this is not what I'm gonna do, and it's your job to do this. Like, it's just his whole everything just bothers me. I cannot do it. Oh Lord, y'all, I can't do it. Y'all, anyway, it got to the point where she was like, well, I'm going, so so he had to stay there with the children. Y'all, he started throwing that non-negotiable around again, and like he really in the moment was like, yeah, I'm not taking care of the kids. I'm not gonna do that. That's your job. This is non-negotiable. I don't know what you're talking about. So she was like, yeah, no, I'm going. Y'all, they were in the middle of basically like disagreeing about all of this, and the doorbell rings. And so he went to go get the door, which I'm shocked, as much as he wants to make it seem like he doesn't have to lift a finger to do anything except go to work and come home. And Y'all, I was gonna say some other stuff, but I'm not gonna do that. Like, he just irks my soul. He went to go get the door and it's Melody. So I thought that she was gonna meet her there. No, Melody came to pick her up to take her to drive, her to the actual networking event. And so she was like, "Hey, how you doing? Whatever, whatever." He was like, "Oh, you look nice. You look good." And so she was like, "Thank you." So then got to the point where she is explaining to him, the situation about them going, and he's just not on board with any of it. He was just like, yeah. So what you and Martell have going on, that's a completely different direction from what myself and Letitia have going on. What y'all do over there is what y'all do over there. What we do over here, it works for us, and that's what we do over here. And she was just like, okay, no. Y'all, I was just, I can't do it. He irks my soul so bad. And so she was like, y'all have kids together though. And, I can't do it, y'all. Marceau, when she said that, he said, I gotta make sure I tell y'all the exact words he said because I feel like I'm gonna say it wrong. He told Melody that Letitia has 3 kids and he just so happens to be the dad. Sir, you are trash. I ain't never heard of such foolishness in all of my life. I ain't never heard of that in all of my life. My daddy, I was the firstborn to my father. I was the firstborn child that he ever had in life. My daddy got his entire life when my mama told him that she was pregnant. Didn't care if it was a boy or a girl. He just wanted a boy and a girl. They tried a second time and they ended up with my sister. My mama said, we tried this last time and it's not a boy. Oh well, tube's gonna get tied. Ended up having my brother. So my daddy was happy. He was ecstatic. My daddy has always been involved. They did have the somewhat traditional relationship, so to speak, but it was nothing like what Marceau does. Like, my mother didn't have to work. That actually was their agreement. But my father told her, if you want to work, you can do that as long as the kids are squared away somehow. And I mean, whether that meant his mother taking on the responsibility of a few hours taking care of us or whatever it was going to be, somebody that we knew was going to be a reliable person to keep an eye on us, that's what it would have been, because there was no money. There was no money to pay for any type of babysitting or whatever, or daycare. There was definitely no money for that. Yes, my father was a state worker, but yeah, all the money he had went to taking care of us, the bills, our insurance, all that good stuff. So no. But they agreed to that. But like I said, my daddy told my mama, if you want to work, especially when the kids get older, that is fine. I'm going to go to work and I'm going to give you the check. And you have access to my accounts. My mama's name to this day is still on all of his accounts, on all of his stuff. Everything that's associated with him is associated with her. Whatever he do, she has access to. She ain't got to ask him nothing. They just let each other know if something done popped off or whatever and they got to go in the account for something. I mean, that's just how it works for them. My mama paid the bills. She budgeted it out. Everything is how it's supposed to be. My father has amazing credit. I think it's mainly because of my mother. Like, he has amazing credit. Like I told y'all before in that video about how the pastor set it off on my daddy because my daddy did not want to have his name and credit and all that stuff associated with another loan for the church. My father has amazing credit. So yeah. But yeah, my daddy is nothing like Marceau. And I envy my parents' relationship. Like, it is amazing. Like, people do not understand how amazing their relationship is. Lord, I just would never. I can't. Marceau irks my soul, y'all. I'm sorry I had to get off track on that because I ain't never seen nothing like it. Like, he just really sees women as, I screw you. You get in there and make me something to eat. You take care of them kids. All y'all leave me alone. And that's just what it is for him. I ain't got time. Y'all, I can't do it. I don't understand. So anyway, Melody and Letitia leave and they're in the car talking while they're on the way to the luncheon. And so, as always, somebody's asking Melody and Martell, how's everything going? So she asked Melody how was everything going. She was like, oh, everything's going great, whatever, whatever. All these lies. Tell me everything's just so wonderful. And she was talking about how she feels like everything is how it was when they first got together, and the way she feels how she did way back in the day, how a relationship is when it's new, which that is an amazing feeling. But I feel like she was just putting on. Don't nobody have time. And so, she ended up asking her, Melody ended up asking Letitia, basically the same thing. How's everything going with her? She was like, well, whatever. And everybody know how their situation go because Marceau is, I can't. Y'all, it's too much. So, y'all, Marceau is at the house with the kids, right? He in the bedroom, just laying on the bed. And I guess their oldest child, the boy came in there. He had one of the other siblings with him because they had three kids. He was like, yeah, so I'm hungry. He was like, yeah, go in there and make you something to eat. And he was like, yeah, I can't use the stove. And he wanted like pancakes or something. And like, it was just too much, y'all. I can't do it. He was like, well, I want this. He couldn't even fix the food for the kids. Like, he tried to fix eggs, but the eggs was just, he put too much oil in the pan. Like, it was the most that was happening. I was tired. Y'all, it was so bad to the point of where he was like suggesting that they just make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or something. I think at least one of them has some kind of a nut allergy. And I'm like, what is going, like, he don't know nothing about his kids. Like, he literally does nothing with them. Letitia spends all the time with them. Like, that's how bad I knew it had to be because they were like, well, where's mom? Like, all of them just saying, where's mom? Where's mom? Where's mom? I'm like, dang, don't nobody want you around. And when she told them that, she was going to leave for a little while and he was going to be there, they were like, oh, I'm like, dang. I enjoy spending time with my daddy. So that's why I was like, ooh, Lord, that's too much. Um, So Letitia and Melody are at the luncheon. They're doing a whole lot of networking, meeting a lot of women who are and or were in the same situation that Letitia was in. And so she's feeling very inspired by a lot of their stories and all that stuff, right? And so she really feels like she's gonna be able to pull it off. And so then she eventually asks Melody, how do you and Martell do it? So she was like, we have a system. We believe in 50-50. Sometimes I pick the kids up, other times he picks them up, and we have all this stuff set in place. We are one another's support system. We're partners, we're teammates, and all this other stuff. And so she just, she's still feeling inspired. And I'm just like, your husband raggedy, so that ain't really gonna work. Okay. Y'all, so let me see. But yeah, she ends up going home and he is whoa out. He's just like, oh, they wore me out. I'm just like, you were barely at the house that long, from what I could tell. Talking about the kids warm out. So she ends up talking to him. She was like, I just felt so inspired and I know I could do these things. And I'm just trying to let you know that I want to be able to contribute. And so he was like, I don't need you to. You already contribute. You do what you said. We already agreed what you would do and what your role would be. And so she was like, but I want to actually leave the house and do things for the family. And we should be able to have other things in place so that I could do that or whatever. And so he was like, well, what should have happened was you said this 12 years ago. Because I think they've been married 12 years, and she agreed that until I guess their youngest child turns 5, that she would just be at the house and just take care of them. Strictly everything is on her, and no help, no nothing. She just be at the house, let him work, and she does nothing. And I think the child is 3. So yeah, she was just like, look, I have dreams, goals, aspirations, and all that good stuff. I want to do some things too. Y'all, it was just too much. So I was just so tired, y'all. He just, Marcel just gotta go. He just, ugh. Y'all, I'm sorry. If I left anything out, then my bad. But yeah, that's the gist of what happened. And next time it's going to be a lot too. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this little recap review thing. And hope y'all have a nice weekend. Y'all stay warm. I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye.